It has been a long and exhausting few weeks making our way to the Bahamas. It really felt like everything was working against us, from the port captain in Isla Mujeres causing us to miss our weather window to the strong winds from the northeast. Since we had already checked out of Mexico and you have to leave within 48 hours of clearing the country, we really only had two choices: check back into Mexico and wait for the right weather window, or take our chances and motor our way to Cuba to wait for the next weather window there. After spending 3 days trying to check out of Mexico, I was an adamant vote for going to Cuba, as I did not want to go through the immigration process again. I mean, who could blame me? So that is what we did. We left in the early evening from Isla Mujeres and headed to Cayo, Largo, Cuba to wait out the heavy winds. We chose Cayo Largo because it was well protected and a beautiful place to hang out and dive while we waited. With that being said, we hit the ocean with excitement and willingness to brave the strong ocean waves and wind to pound our way to Cuba. So I just woke up and we're outside Cayo Largo here in Cuba. So it's pretty windy. We just went on a pretty rough passage where we were motor sailing into the wind. But on the bright side, look at how beautiful it is here in Cuba. Together we sailed 297 nautical miles through the night and day to reach Cayo Largo, Cuba. I was a bit nervous because I had heard so many different stories about the challenges of Americans visiting the country, specifically that they would not accept American credit cards, which would make it challenging for me to pay for anything in Cuba or get money from an ATM. Luckily, I was able to find an ATM that offered American dollars in Mexico, but even then there was a limit of $500. David was reassuring because he lives in Mexico and had a Mexican bank card, so we knew we wouldn't be stranded. When we finally arrived in Cuba, I was shocked at the warm welcome we received and how easy it was to check into the country, especially after our experience in Mexico. It seemed to me that it is America who does not want us to associate with Cuba, and not the other way around. Cuba no longer uses paper money and has switched almost completely to digital currency. This meant I had to go to the bank and buy a prepaid Visa card with the American dollars I had withdrawn from the ATM. We received our visas, and when I asked how long we could stay, they said as long as we want, which I thought was hilarious because every country we have been to has had a specific deadline for departure. We were exhausted, so we headed out of the marina and dropped anchor in the bay.
I have a rubber. Awesome. Somewhere else.
Oh, you guys do love each other. After all. All right, don't fall in.
Fall in. No, don't fall.
Like a dog, you know, and looking by the window.
On the way down to the pond, you're like, go straight.
Today we are super pumped to go to the Cayo Largo Sea Turtle Rescue. Their latest mission was to rescue all of the turtle eggs off the beach that they could find before Hurricane Rafael hit Cuba in November. The reason being that if the nest gets saturated with water, the eggs will suffocate and the turtles will not hatch. The rescue center gathered all the eggs they could find off the beach and placed them in artificial nests in the sanctuary so that they could hatch and be returned to the ocean. They now think that as long as a turtle is released at the same reef as where they were laid, they will imprint and return home when it is their turn to lay their eggs. This was an amazing experience for all of us, and we were surprised that they let us interact with the turtles so much. Maddie now wants to come back and work for the rescue center.
Está muy profundo.
Sí, sí, ellas lo hacen bastante.
Las tortugas hacen...
Mira, esto es un huevo infecto. ¿No ves? Esto es un huevo que ya no van a hacer.
Whoa.
¿No ves? ¿Por qué? Porque ya tiene cubrimiento de hongo y este es un huevo que ya no nace.
Crazy. There's a little things really crawl from that deep.
Pero mira.
No, it's a good egg.
Mira.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh. What's your belly look like?
Llegaron a tiempo, que es el último nido de la temporada.
That's so cool. So cool. See it, Cornelius. It's gonna feel cold after the warm fan. Oh, there you go.
Come in, Katie. Come in, Katie.
What do you name yours?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo?
Bye, Ronaldo.
Such a racer. So look at all these. Oh, there's Cornelio. Or Cornelius. There's
Awesome.
Dude, look at Cornelius go. He's freaking hurdling other turtles.
La comida.
Food.
Sí. Eso le pones el agua, pueden dar a todos.
Oh, we did
A estos tres estanques, excepto ese, que lo puedes echar así.
He says this is for everything.
doing, Finn?
So just put a little in, Finn, not the whole thing. Right?
Wait. No, they're not squiggles. Mine is the one down there with his head in the corner.
Maybe you'll run across him one day in the ocean.
Maybe.
De una de ellas, la cabeza grande aquella,
¿Dónde?
el esqueleto aquel, ahí,
Ah, la cabeza.
careta, el nombre siempre.
Es diferente
Sí,
cuando
es
es
diferente.
pequeño.
Pero esta es carnívora porque se diferencia de las otras especies en que posee una mandíbula robusta.
When we first arrived here at the sanctuary, we saw these turtles in these plastic baskets and we thought that they must surely be dead. But we were happy to find out that they were just fine and that they had been given some medicine, which is the purple stuff you see around their neck and some of their flippers. It turns out that these juvenile turtles like to wrestle with each other or bite each other, assert their dominance over each other, and in doing that, some of them end up with some scrapes and cuts that need to be treated with this antibacterial medicine so that they don't get sick.
Ow.
In the water.
not feeling good? Oh, he's not moving good.
This is the best day of my life
Why is that?
because I get to hold turtles. Like, when do you ever get to hold a turtle?
That's true.
Maybe not hungry.
Maybe not.
That's awesome.
We'll see.
Still love you, boy. Look at that baby.
Yeah.
So this one they were unable to return to the wild because he's an albino. He wouldn't have survived. Skull of loggerhead.
I can't believe we
Look
got
how
to
big
see
it can
action.
get.
Like I said, it's so dead, I've seen it.
think of the turtles, Finn?
They're awesome. On the neck like that. See, I was not
That's what he
flopping.
was showing over there with the purple one?
Yeah.
So when Connor and I bought this boat in the BVI, it came up on the survey that we had little hairline fractures on the side of our deck here next to the trampoline, and they told us it was no big deal, but this boat has only really been sailing in the BVI for, I don't know, the last 10 years or so, and it ended up being a big deal when we took the water out on the blue water. We had pretty big waves that were hitting us right on the nose, and it caused a significant fracture on the port side that we're now going to have to get repaired. And part of that is because we don't have the right trampolines. The holes on the tramps are not big enough to let the water go through, so it acted like a big shovel, and that was a lot of weight that our boat couldn't handle. So we had these Lumar hatch covers that keep the sun out of the boat, keep it from getting hot, and we forgot to take them off on our passage, and the water came underneath them and then just broke them in half, or they flew off. Our hatches on the boat are old and haven't been serviced well over the years, and we were getting a lot of water on the deck, and these were all leaking because these gaskets need to be replaced. David put some lithium grease on there to keep the water out in the meantime. We have these super comfortable backrests that lock in place here, and we didn't take those off during the pass. One of the flanges broke on the bar that holds the backrest and came out and gouged our deck. So we have a 15-foot dinghy that we have on these davits that we secure at the bow and the stern with these, and unfortunately in the heavy seas this broke, and we had to use some Dyneema rope to fasten it. This block.
Yeah, so we put our champs on our side. We can close that. So
Felt like a worm.
Let's close this up.
What you working on, Finn?
I just tightened the
cleat?
The cleat, yeah.
So Connor made a temporary fix to the fiberglass crack here next to the trampoline. He filled it with Sikaflex 5200, which will hopefully keep it closed and keep the water out until we arrive somewhere where we can get it professionally fixed. The wind never really let up in Cayo Largo, so we were unable to dive. We had thought we were going to be able to get diesel here, as all of our charts and information led us to believe there was a diesel station here, but we have since learned that just because there is a diesel station, it doesn't mean that they have diesel. They also claim they don't know when their diesel will come, but they know that it will arrive someday. This is just one of the many ways that the government here in Cuba forces their people to be reliant on everything, and they certainly are careful to not give them too much. Unfortunately for us, we had used a fair amount of diesel getting here, so we were now concerned to stay much longer without the ability to refill. Mainly because they were headed north and we knew it was strong possibility that we would have to motor, and second, our solar system cannot yet keep up with all of the demand without having to run the generator for a few hours a day to recharge our batteries. As our luck would have it, our main halyard would break while we were sailing along the southwestern end of Cuba. After all of the problems we have experienced since leaving Honduras, this event barely even fazed us. We just pressed on as we typically do. This time we had David to go up in the bosun chair and see if it was possible to salvage the halyard and make a temporary repair. But no such luck.
I'll go get it there.
I can do it too if you want.
Well, it's a brand new halyard. And how are we going to keep it from falling down the mast? Well, should one of us go up there and tie it off?
The boat's on, correct?
Be careful.
This goes through both of these, correct? No, just one. I'm going upstairs. Just one of these? Yeah. I'm going. Wait, hang on. It is all along with the feet that join on the hands are like this. Alright, I'm ready. I have my knife. I went to get the bar because I can achieve anything as long as I have something in my stomach. So now I'm gonna go up there in 20 knots of wind in the middle of the ocean. I'm gonna be thrown around like a like I'm nothing around the mast like this, it would be interesting.
Just off the shore of Cuba. So
Yeah.
you know we'll get good service if things do go wrong.
So once I get up there, release the main, don't pull on it right now, huh? Otherwise we lose it.
Yeah.
So once I have it, you can loose it and drop me at the same time.
Okay.
Make sure you drop me, like try to get it smoothly, and always have one hand on the lanyard. So it doesn't like, oh shoot.
So just know the back of that chair is like not super secure and it made me very uncomfortable when I went up.
Good to know. It looks really sketchy, the chair actually.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to know if you wanted a harness.
Alright. Yeah. So
Right up this side.
let's see. It's gonna be a little harder for me to pass the rope, but it is what it is. Okay, let's go. As long as this one doesn't break.
Me too.
All right.
See you, David. We got a reel in the line. Gotta get that fish.
No!
Wow. Oh my god, you're still alive.
Oh,
That's sketchy.
I was like full strength holding the
I know.
mast.
Hey, you said you wanted to work out.
Alright, I have a good news and a bad news. Yeah, but the problem is to go back in, and the part that go back in, gone. Yeah, so we need to do with something to fish the line. We need to drop it slowly. So we need to be at super calm water until we get it back here, and then there you
Comes out right there. See it coming out the side of the mast?
Oh yeah. Well, I need to drop it there. Somehow you grab it, and then you tie off the rope to it, and then back up. There's no way we can do it here. It's just gonna wrap around all the other ropes around. So, yeah.
Well, we're going to a marina.
Well,
Yeah, but we need to sail.
for protection at this area, because this area doesn't go in the mast.
Yeah.
It stops before going into the mast. So we can put something thicker to protect the anima or something to protect the rope so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I
It's
think
not normal, and it's happened twice
in a year.
in a
Yeah.
year. That's crazy. And this cannot happen to you if you're a really long passage and you're not flying to water.
Put that in the bucket. Take it in the bucket.
Havana, Cuba.
Oh yeah, I want to keep my money here.
We pressed on for VaraderoCuba, checking in with other marinas along the way to see if they had diesel fuel. We heard from another sailor at Hemingway that you had to really work hard to negotiate for the diesel, and the place was a ghost town, so we decided to continue on as we still had a quarter of a tank left. As we sailed past Havana, we were all excited to see the beautiful skyline as the sun rose. The marina in Havana is a commercial marina, so they will not sell diesel to cruisers. Everywhere you looked off the coast of Havana were men in makeshift boats fishing. We even passed some snorkelers who were spearfishing. All of these people have such limited food availability that they spend their day out here fishing for their families. Some of these boats are nothing more than blocks of styrofoam.
The dolphin farm up there, dude. Huh? Cool. It's a dolphin farm up there. Like a dolphin sink.
Here we are coming into Varadero, Cuba, a marina where we are going to fix our halyard and get some diesel fuel, hopefully.
Need some air in it.
Finally, we made it to Varadero and headed to the fuel dock with big smiles on our faces. I had never been so happy to fill up the tank before. Honestly, going to the gas station has always been my least favorite activity.
Is it for the algae? What is it for this one?
The all-in-one diesel improver.
Oh, okay. I thought it was for the algae. It's already separated. I'm just waiting for someone to give me a hand to pour this there. I just can't wait. I can't stop pumping for too long. All right.
Don't forget we sit on the deck.
It looks pretty clean. The back of the bucket with the light is, there's no water, nothing. It's really clean. Can you see?
Yeah.
Very clean. Surprisingly, really clean.
I heard that.
So then she was asking if when you empty your tanks completely by running the engine, if it's dangerous for the engine, and because it can suck more crap. And I said because of the water separator, any crap or water should fall right down in the bottom, so it shouldn't affect the engine at all, unless you never look at them and it plugs all the way up and goes to the injector. Then it can do something, but usually it's not dramatic. It's not great, but it's not that dramatic. But the best is that once in a while you go and look at the filters, and at the bottom it should be transparent, where if there's any water or crap, you should see it in the bottom, and there's a little valve you can remove that empty all this crap.
Yeah. Hold on, this one, we go, yeah? Will you screw that in there?
Remember we hit those guys like 30 feet away? Wow, look at this hole. Look at this hole.
Oh, is it sore?
Look at this hole. Bud.
No, I don't want to touch it.
Bud. Look at the hole.
Don't go in there. It's in there.
Oh God. I've seen that movie. I've seen both of them.
It's hiding out there. The clown.
Georgie.
How about?
What's the
We decided we all deserved a night out, so we headed into town to have a nice dinner. I have never enjoyed a cab drive so much as I did here in Cuba.
Black and crispy skin with the sides.
The following day, we woke up in high spirits and ready to tackle the halyard repair.
But I will try to push it towards you. Otherwise, you grab the one that turns and twisted, you won't be able to pull them. Okay. Awesome. We just like untied the rope from all inside the mast, and now I have to go and somehow feed that line back in the mast without getting that line all like around the other lines inside that mast. And it will be much easier this time because there's no waves and like 20 knots of wind, so that's gonna be easier. Hopefully we'll have a main sail after that. That actually worked. Hang on, stop.
You're gonna have to feed that around all the stays as you go up.
Yeah. Wait. More. Stop.
You can see, Bud, right, when you're looking up, those ropes just need to be free right up the back of the mast. Right. You see him go on the wrong, he won't, but just in case, sure, he's not to be wrapped around any wires.
Okay, go ahead. Go. Go. Go.
I don't think we can.
Alright, I need to switch the rope I'm hanging with.
Oh. Don't you film that. No.
Hand me a tool to undo that shackle.
Okay. I can do it up there. I can go up there and do it. Whatever you want me to do. All of these?
Just the pliers. Blue handled pliers. That's all. Like that.
Hold your own. It's like more than halfway up the map. Almost big can. Like 10 feet.
Lock it. Lock it.
Is it locked?
It's locked. Can you put tension on it? A little bit. All good. All good.
Thanks for joining us on our journey as we slowly but surely make our way to the Bahamas. If you are enjoying following us, we would appreciate you liking our show and leaving a comment, because we definitely want to hear from our viewers. Please don't forget to subscribe to our show so that you know when the next video is released. Thanks again.